Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with proper overlays this time around. My name is Job. I'm still joined by Gareth, unless his entire PC broke now. No? Oh well. Hopefully he'll get back soon. There it is, unmuted. It's still time for game number 2. WG.Unity versus Execration, a new game, a new hero pool. What are you seeing so far here?
Lots of int heroes down the bottom there. Necro, Pugner, Leshrac, Storm Spirit.
Well, it's the exact same number of int heroes and the agility and strength heroes. So.
Oh, I meant int like shiny intelligence core heroes that can do a lot of damage and piss everyone off, you know. But mainly I'm kind of seeing this, and there's a serious lack of hard disable, right? You've got a bit from Conquer, a bit from Tusk, a bit here and there from, like, you know, a Crystal Maiden or a Shadow Demon. But I think that these int heroes are going to be pretty heavily targeted. Maybe even just these elusive heroes. Weaver's a PA in the pool as well. And with this lack of disables, they could really thrive. And we immediately see one of the new heroes banned out along with the IO, which is kind of sad, to be honest. But. Yeah. Whatever. From my poe experiences, she is relatively overpowered and just kills everyone in one hit. So, what? It's fine. I didn't want to see her anyway.
Feel some resentment there. I feel like you want to see someone else suffer at the hands of the Willow.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, I'm looking for roaming supports, and there aren't that many. There's Bounty Hunter, Tusk. I guess Night Stalker could slot in there as well, but these aren't really the heroes that you want to be, you know, applying pressure too much outside of the Bounty Hunter.
The Kunkka perhaps can also be kind of played in that role, but problem is you don't really provide too much damage, so it kind of depends on the lineup that you have beyond that.
Yeah,
but that's kind of true for a lot of 4 position heroes though. Yeah, sniper banned out. WG.U. Want to give that over again?
I had enough of that nonsense.
Yeah.
I mean, what is your final ban here? How are we looking for offlaners here? There's Tide, Brewmaster. Yeah, they banned the Weaver. I like that. Just get rid of the slippery little devil. We might see a strong fight over offlaners, but equally we could just run, you know, duo lanes very simply here with, you know, a Necro plus a Witch Doctor, Necro Crystal Maiden, have a Bristle Crystal Maiden or something like that. Even a Brew +1 wouldn't be too bad here.
Yep.
So I think you're fine setting up your lanes. It's just that kind of, you know, the hero that causes that flow between them. I'm struggling to see outside of like Night Stalker Bounty what you'd love to go for.
Well, just looking at this Belgium section, yeah, I mean, I still wonder. I gotta wonder now whether Necrophos and Pugner, whether these heroes are still gonna be highly sought after because of the different changes here too. Necrophos got a couple of nerfs, but at the same time, the Fusel Blade also they got nerfed in that regard. So in that sense, when you pick up Necrophos or Pugner, if you really want to deal with that ethereal things, the ethereal status, you'd almost have to pick up here in this game the Shadow Demon. Then you might as well also pick up Leshrac as perhaps one of these old school combos with the disruption into the stun. So it's plenty of things that they could do, but for now they're gonna focus on these roaming heroes, as you said. The Kunkka and a Night Stalker are gonna be the choices.
Yeah, I forgot they had Afro-Mush. I keep forgetting this guy exists. Kunkka is like one of his signature heroes. I really should have remembered that, but there is the Pugner after the Night Stalker. I'm wondering now with the change to that Diffuser Blade.
I really want to see a Shadow Demon here.
SD Kunkka.
10 seconds remaining.
We want to see that right now.
That could be pretty nifty.
5 seconds.
What other openers could you go for? I mean, you could go for like a Kunkka Winter Wyvern for yourself. Kunkka Necro wouldn't be too bad. There's also, you know, Monkey King in there. Brewmaster is incredibly strong as well. There are a few options, and with Captain's Draft, it is so difficult to kind of narrow down what you want to go for and what your opponents want to go for. Just with this like limited pool of heroes, there's, the options become much more, difficult to notice. They become obfuscated by the fact that there is a limited pool of heroes, and you don't exactly know what pairings your opponents have seen and what pairings that you have seen.
It's a great challenge to just be able to analyze the hero pool in like a minute or two, and then just be able to draw the right conclusions from it. And yeah, as you said, also also make sure that the enemy doesn't have different conclusions and different synergies that you didn't necessarily see that they surprise you with.
But you're also fighting over the same heroes as well. Like if you wanted Kunkka Pugna and your just picked Night Stalker Pugna, you're like, well, shit, we've got 30 seconds left. What do we go as our second hero? Do we go for the SD that you mentioned? Do we think about, is it an Arc Warden game? Player? Can we go along those lines? And there is the Shadow Demon. So they've got the Disruption Torrent and Brewmaster picked up immediately after as that kind of disruption in the team fights, the chaos he brings, but also just a solid offlaner, honestly.
Yep. Yeah, I really like that. Again, Shadow Demon, not just with the synergy early on with the Kunkka, you have that he's set up for the torrents, but also later down the line, you do have that purge available for the Pugna. And in those cases where you really want to kill him, and he tries to weasel himself out with the Corruptify. But Brewmaster also pretty decent at that as well with the Storm Panda, I believe. Is it also a purge, or is it just
that was a dispel.
Dispel, yeah. Close enough.
Yeah, Dota still has to clean up some of its wording and naming. There's purges and dispels and all sorts of stuff. Hard dispel, soft dispel, mini. No, it doesn't go that far. So coming up next, you've got Night Stalker with a crippling fear to hold the Brewmaster away from his ultimate, Pugna to help you push. I'm just like talking out loud to try and see what line they go down with these kind of drafts. I mean, a Dragon Knight wouldn't be awful here. Sure, it's a bit annoying if you pop your Dragon form and you get disrupted and there's 2 Dragon Illusions next to you, but just being a tanky hero that has that great disable, great pushing power, it lines up with the Pugna timing really nicely between the 2 heroes. It's a kind of a self-sustaining mid as well, so you don't need the Night Stalker, you don't need these roaming guys to come in and help the DK. He's not going to suffer too much to a Kunkka or anything like that. Unless it's Kunkka SD roaming around. But Winter Wyvern is going to give them that teamfight lockdown against Brewmaster, against these initiations of WG that they need, and they can still go for, their core heroes a little bit later on in the draft, not giving anything away just yet.
Did they get away with an Arc Warden here?
I feel like both teams could. The one fear you have picking Arc Warden in this pool, I think, is the Storm Spirit. Outside of Storm and maybe Ursa. Ursa doesn't do too poorly against Arc Warden. Gets kited a little bit later on in the game, but yeah, Arc Warden it is.
Feeling very smart right now, honestly.
Oh yes.
But yeah, it's another one of these challenges where you say, hey, we're gonna play Arc Warden, you're gonna have to deal with it with limited heroes, and the question becomes whether WGU can identify what the best answer to that is. And you mentioned the Storm Spirit, and there's the silence away from the Night Stalker, so they'll force out a Yule Scepter or Linken's or something like that. The Winter Wyvern is a bit of lockdown there, but beyond that, the Storm would still be pretty much uncontested in this sense, but go for the Dragon Knight instead.
They go for the DK.
I mean, they kind of lacked the push component before, so makes sense in that regard.
So, to me, this feels like WG.Unity are saying, we don't really care about your Arc Warden, we're just going to play our game. The Storm Spirit is a good option to catch the Arc Warden, mid, late game when he had a few items, he's got a little bit strong and you want to try and kill him off. And sure, you mentioned the Night Stalker Crippling Fear, but Storm, even without Yules or Linken's, should be able to survive through that with the help of, a disruption or something along those lines. And in fact, they finish up with a Monkey King. But yeah, this feels like WG want to try and hit their timing. Blink on Brew, an Armlet, and maybe a BKB, something along those lines for the Dragon Knight. You just want to hit towers, pressure these lanes, so the Arc Warden can't get to that pivotal moment where he has, fight and killing off the team single-handedly. If you've won the game already, then it's great for you.
Yeah.
But I feel like Execration have the tools here to kind of drag this one out. With Winter Wyvern, with Pugna being able to delay pushes, push towers, and apply pressure themselves. And with their final pick still available for, what, potentially their offlane, this could still be their 4 role if they want to move Night Stalker into the offlane again. They've really got a number of role options, but I don't see that one hero that's going to, like, save this game. I mean, we could just see, like, a Tide Hunter or something, honestly, but it's gonna be the Necro.
Okay.
Okay, against 3 tanky melee heroes, sure. Brewmaster and Dragonite do not like getting scythed. Maybe lacking a little bit of damage to pump into the scythe, though. I mean, you've got Pugna and a bit of damage from Gabby's Arc Warden, but we'll see how this pans out. I kind of favor Execration in this one. Just look at that draft, dude. How can you... You may not like it, but it's good.
It is good, but the one weakness that I see for them is in the early game, especially with the Shadow Demon Kunkka on the loose, and Monkey King, Dragonite, Brewmaster, all of those very self-sufficient laners, so there's going to be a lot of time and space for Afromotion to do their thing. And like Winter Wyvern, as strong as she is, there's only so much she can do in the earlier parts of the game. Same for Night Stalker. Before 4 minutes, you're like the tanky guy and kind of brawl a little bit and divert attention, but I don't know. I kind of feel like there's an opportunity for WGU to get going early, grab some of these early kills, and then just keep the pressure up almost indefinitely. Especially since it can then, once you hit your level 6s on their cores, can start turning it into towers on the Dragon Knight, as well as extra team fights off the Brewmaster.
It's definitely going to be a lot of pressure play coming out from this DK and Brew. But these are heroes that if you like the Shadow Demon and Kunkka, this combo can go around and look for action, but if that action doesn't happen, I feel like WGU just set themselves on the back foot heavily, like very, very heavily. Because Execration have these 3 cores that like to sit there, farm on their own, just get experience and gold. And you can see, look, all these lines being drawn immediately.
Yep.
Go here, go there, place wards, get aggressive vision here. We need to go and contest this rune spot. All of these early actions matter to WG just to get them off, on the right track at the beginning of the game here. So they're gonna have what, DK mid, safe lane Brew. Is this gonna be? Are they gonna aggro try the monkey?
That would be interesting. I was just expecting a safe lane monkey, off lane Brew.
And what does that give them? A Brew versus a Necro potentially?
Should be fine regardless, right? In the early levels anyway. So, and then you end up with an X Torrent, or just a Disruption Torrent into the Monkey King being there. A lot of lockdown for him to be able to fuel up the Jingo Mastery. Yeah, they're running.
We'll see if they do it.
Offlane for the time being, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see Shadow Demon Kunkka make their way in that lane at one time or another. For now, smoke rotations on both sides, and look like Execration. They might be the ones who could get an interception when Velo makes his way back.
You can see there Lumic pinged his own shrine up to the northwest. So he's got an idea that this is happening. Velo does get an observer ward down, and now with that Primal Spring up on the trees, should be able to get some vision and knowledge of where these Radiant heroes are. But this is the move that we were talking about at the start of the previous game, right? The Radiant side, they come in, they contest, they get themselves ready to take bounty runes. It looks like Gabby wants to take one, but his TP scroll is in his backpack. So they're going to put James mid on the Necro, and he'll be the one that TP's back in towards mid lane after getting that one bounty. Oh, is he just going to walk back to lane? That's interesting.
I've blocking, so he can save that money.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. I've just seen so much of the grab 2 bounty runes and then TP back to lane that it's kind of just got stuck in my head. But this is perfectly reasonable as well. Raging Potato lets the range creep go first, able to drag back that equilibrium to their own little high ground ramp. But Velo bottom lane drags the creep wave away, pulling the little Batrider play.
Shenanigans every which way. Fair up with a 2v1, so that hasn't changed either. For the time being anyway. Night Stalker's gonna hang around. And it is the top lane, RR. Alone on the Pugna, Nova. He will find this. Oh, maybe not. Pugna is very, very fast indeed. Thorn will still connect, but a whole lot of damage they can do now. Okay, is there?
They've
Gonna try.
they've got boots. Okay, nice TP.
That works.
Clever play.
That brings him all the way back to base though, so he'll be out and about for a while. But yeah, boots, 375 movement speed on the Pugna. That's kind of disgusting.
Oh. X-Nova's trying to learn these new pulls across as well. Only grabs the range creep, unfortunately. The little bit of extra distance that they have to travel to actually make the wave. Just catching him off there a little bit. But these are all the little things that, you know, you're gonna start see people really master and perfect. The execution of these pulls, all the little nuanced plays that have changed over the, you know, over the patch. As RR knows fully well that WG are trying to play aggressively into him from the eastern side in this top lane. Caught a glimpse with tower vision, I think. But not going to be able to do too much. Lumic tries the courier snipe, but it's going to be the torrent onto Night Stalker.
Yep. Again, though, he's pretty tanky. Without shield, or even stout shield this time around. But now, Yajabami also coming through with the extra slows. The Grapify to try to delay this a little bit, but he body blocks it there. It should be first blood, and it is Aftermoosh. Running that for himself.
And here come the sharks.
So, off to a good start.
Yeah, most definitely. SD and Kunkka have kind of been stuck up on this top lane, though. You know, Kunkka level 1 and 3/4. Still a distance to go until he hits that level 2 for the extra point in probably Tidebringer with an SD running around. We could maybe see the Shadow Demon just like, and then Kunkka starts roaming on his own with X, but it's difficult to say at this point what they want to do. But it's nice to see them moving off that top lane. They got a kill, and now they move into mid, look for another.
James on the other side of the river is gonna have to do some fancy footwork here, but he does walk right into it. Now has to hope to survive regardless somehow between all of his spells. Does have stick jumps to work with no ghost shot to amplify the heals, and that is the last breathe fire. Will be enough. Raging Potato from the side also. He's gonna be axed up now. So Aftermoosh hits level 2. Into a torrent. Okay, Raging Potato walks the other way, tries to wait for X-Nova. And that might have just saved his life, honestly. Oh, maybe not. I spoke too soon.
Yeah, Soul Catcher plus Breathe Fire. That's a lot of damage. Not even Night Stalker can survive through it. Yeah, we saw there the X mark taken by Kunkka. Doesn't go for the extra damage of the Tidebringer. Allows them to catch that one additional target and swing it into not just 1 kill but 2. And a great start again, like we've been seeing from these 2 supports, the SD Kunkka. But you do still have to, think about consolidating your lanes a little more. Brewmaster doesn't really want to be left alone in a 1v1 against Pugna. There's a lot of damage from that little green skeleton. They're trying onto Gabby bottom lane though.
Oh, X into Torrent. Gonna need some extra help. Boundless Light comes through, but the heal from Lumic already there, and Gabby should be fine. At the same time, Bingo Mastery now all stacked up. Aftermoosh going for the body blocks. Does he have another spell available? Not for another couple of seconds. Diving in a tower though, and Aftermoosh taking a lot of damage. Needs to stay close to his teammates here so it doesn't get taken down.
Ooh. And
that'll be enough. But now Raging Potato and Lumic coming in from the other side. It's gonna have to hide inside the trees. Velo going forward here. It's Boundless Strike. Not quite catching Raging Potato, so he does get lasted off. And that'll be the end of this. Gabby survives.
This is...
WG, not so much.
Oh, Velo, no, not like this.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought he was fine. I thought he was safe.
Yeah, that went from being... Oh, top lane's in trouble now, though. RR's caught.
Oh, Exoran, that is. The grab fire already there. Bami with another clap in a couple of seconds here. Can they get close enough to him, though?
He's so fast, dude. He's so speedy.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, there we go. Nice clap. But yeah, bottom lane turned from like a reasonable attempt, the Arc Warden kill. Maybe giving away your Kunkka is, acceptable there for the amount of pressure you're putting on, but mid lane again.
Not stop it here. This time no Kunkka though. Instead, in fact, Night Stalker coming in from the side as well is another target. Pharaoh. Next Nova starting to drop low, but it's still committing for this. But now RR with rotation is just blasting down the Dragon Knight. A little bit too much. Bitten off there, but now Aftermoosh. That's a bit of an extra turn. X can't quite get in range.
Oh man, look at how much damage this Pugna does. But yeah, the bot lane fight, it went from being maybe reasonably acceptable for attempt on the Arc Warden to being an absolute catastrophe for WG, losing that monkey as well. They keep switching their targets, you know, they keep aiming one guy, then trying to switch to another, looking for that secondary kill here and there, just pushing it a little bit too far.
Local Rock and Meaty, the Afro just running into Rigid Potato as well as Lumic. X-Torrent onto one, but the Kunkka will still end up falling here eventually. Maybe not here. Disruption comes through from X-Nova to keep him safe. Rigid Potato still trying to run him down. Honestly, might be able to here, flying across to the side, gets the last nuke off in exchange for the Winter Wyvern though. Gabby also diving very deep here. Velo does have the Jingle Mastery stacked up. X-Nova though very low on health and mana. Cannot do anything to protect himself. And he will be the secondary casualty here. WG.Unity kind of being picked off more than they're picking off at this point.
Arc Warden, boys.
XD.
Yeah. But this is the delicate tightrope that WG, you know, must have known that they would have had to walk across here. The Shadow Demon Kunkka, they started off amazingly, but as soon as these little skirmishes start slipping, things do fall away a little bit as Brew is dropped to half HP, holding onto his ulti, wanting to make an aggressive play mid lane, but I don't know about this, mate.
That's the defensive potential that you were talking about with the Splinter Blast. Okay, what the hell are they doing there?
Oh, they're just diving tower, killing monkey.
Good, and yeah, this mid lane push, was DD as well and Dragon Knight. They really hope to be able to just push tower, and if there's any sort of reaction, take a team fight with the Brewmaster ultimate. Get to that point, because it's taking too much long range damage that they cannot really punish. This tower still very healthy, even with the last couple of hits onto it from the DK ult. Meanwhile up top, ultimate already used, and now Disruption. WG, we're ready for this play though. They can look to try and bring down the Night Stalker, but Golden Embrace helping him out really well so far. They lift up Pugna into the air, so keep him for later, but now try and bring him down instead. Velo needs a couple of extra right clicks. Jabami with the clap as he comes back. Now looking for more yeah, okay. That torrent, not quite on the mark. But so they stop that aggression, they get the kill, but yeah, I don't know what you were gonna say, but it feels like it's too little.
Yeah, with your first primal split, okay, you've killed the Pugna, that's a nice kill, you've kept yourself alive, but it just feels like a break even, right? It's not something that WG.Unity are doing off their own back to go and get an objective. They're not the ones that are setting up for this. Sure enough, the Monkey King was there, ready and waiting to try and turn that. But it was more of a desperate, we need to get up here and do something about it, rather than a, hey, let's go and kill this guy. Let's go and pick off this Pugna so that we can advance our own agenda and go and, you know, make our draft work. They're just kind of, you know, slipping and falling behind. The Arc Warden now gets free time bottom lane. That shift of momentum up towards top by Execration creates so much space in the safe lane for Gabby just to shove into tier 1, and RR even join. And now you see WG.Unity that they're forced to come down here and deal with it. They're moving these ganking, roaming, aggressive heroes to defend towers.
Well, gonna try with the ultimate. Afromush just gets blown up by Gabby here. Axe back into it, but the Cripplefy keeps Gabby alive for the time being. They still want to bring him down. And they can. Alright, that's a good start, but at what cost? 2 heroes down now as RR sucks down Velo. And the fight might not be over yet. Raging Potato, it might not be nighttime, but he still has a hefty nuke to throw out in the void.
The kill on Gabby though, that's the important one. Delay that Hand of Midas as much as you possibly can. He has the recipe in his backpack, so he'll return to lane and have it in, you know, a minute or so. Not a massive delay, but a delay nonetheless, which WG.Unity desperately needed. But if you look at this Brewmaster now, what's he up to? Does he have anything on the courier? Yeah, okay, he's got his Blink Dagger. I was a little bit worried there for a second, like, where's all the money gone?
There's that's the Blink. What I'm worried about. Pharaoh, he's gonna get gone on his Gabby. TP's down there, and so back to the bottom lane. So James able to make use of that extra damage, just siphoning him down. The rotation that they did not exactly expect, but now, well, Raging Potato. He'll put a trade as he runs into Afromush and Jabami, who has a double damage room to work with.
So yeah, there's the knock-on effect. You have the gank on the Arc Warden bot lane. Gabby just swings towards mid, gets a kill on the DK. And WG.Unity, they're the ones chasing Ghost. They're the ones always, you know, one step behind what Execration are doing because of that first move of Execration working out so perfectly well. Oh, man. Killing the DK there with Dragon form up as well. 70 seconds it's on cooldown for from now on. That is not where you want to be, especially when you were ready with Blink Primal Split to go and fight. You know, that happened at the worst possible time because you would have wanted that DK ulti to, you know, draw Execration in, bait them in. Sure. Part A worked. Part B was meant to be the rest of your team arriving to save the DK though, but they weren't quite ready because they were set up to try and, you know, continue fighting down at bottom lane. And now you've got the Arc Ward and Hand of Midas going, so Gabby dips back into the jungle, starts farming away there as I want to try and set up for a fight top lane onto the Pugna.
They use the Primal Split, the Crabify does come out though, so now they have to try and also settle for Lumik, who does have the Cold Embrace to work with as well, to delay this even further. But they're in a bad position regardless, but ultimate coming through from the Monkey King. But, yeah. Again, just delaying, just buying space. Oh, still alive, but they didn't track him down inside the trees. With all defensive spells, without any sort of relief effort from the extra heroes from Execration, they were not gonna get out of that particular position.
Yeah, that's a little more like it. They get a couple of kills, and now they can pressure into tier 1 on top lane.
Or perhaps middle. James gets X back. He's a very hard target to bring down though at this point. 17
yeah, he's got
yeah.
Veil, Cloak, 17-1 charges, 12 armor. Very, very difficult to bring down as 2 melee heroes. And you have to get up in his face. He's got Ghost Shroud. He's invulnerable in the mid lane against those two, pretty much.
Yeah.
Alright, time to kill Gabby again. Let's go. Can they do it? Monkey shows.
It's like he feels that something's amiss here, so he's just hiding inside the trees, and yeah, he's just...
Yeah, I mean, everyone's off lanes. DK isn't mid. No one's showing top. Everyone is off the map, so good game awareness there by Gabby just to TP away. TP's in his little Tempest double though. Get a bit of damage, force back WGU so they can't really push into this tier 1 too easily with the Dragon form. And in the meantime, they get tier 1 top lane. And WG are kind of forced to commit for tier 1 bot.
Be able to bring it down with a DK, but meanwhile in mid, WG and their rest of the heroes are sitting around here, but they might get wrapped around on a Raging Potato actually thinks a tower shot though. Curious to see how that works out with his new positioning, but now X-Nova is still gonna be the target. Will be sucked away at the boat. Will miss him pretty much everybody, but it does give them the rum buff to work with. Raging Potato. Looks like want to make a trade happen there. Jabami doesn't quite have the ultimate yet and not enough burst damage to bring down Lumik. Need a little bit of extra here from Velo as he comes back out of that Cold Embrace. Pharaoh, he TP'd in too, and he takes a lot of burst. Now another scythe to the face. It is Execration here to take the better end of this particular trade. Velo throw his ultimate, and he will choose to do so. Now the Primal Split will be interrupted. The silence from Night Stalker will make sure that Brewmaster cannot actually help right now. Doesn't get it off. Gabby with a double kill. And Velo, triple kill for Gabby. Just running right over WG right now.
I mean, that was a huge Boundless Strike with the Wukong's command over like 3 or 4 heroes. But WG just didn't have the sustain to get through it. The silence onto Brew just as he wanted to split. The kill onto DK as he was frontlining the Necro. And another hero really quite far away from the rest of his team just gets scythed down. And couldn't really survive through the fight at all because they were having to focus on the Night Stalker and the Wyvern who were backstabbing. Execration just running rampant over these WG heroes one by one, finding the pickoffs that they need. And especially during this nighttime with that extra duration on that crippling fear. 5 seconds silence is a huge, huge amount of disable up against the Brewmaster. Is James gonna die?
I don't think so, really. Only now getting more people in, and Gabby does have his Tempest double, but they're committing deep for it here. They finally get to use the Brew Split. Trying to bring those Necrophils, but beautiful Winter's Curse here in the back. Nice counterplay though by X-Nova. And then he'll secure that particular kill onto James. Now look for more Velo with the jump forward. X back onto Gabby. That's a real Gabby too, and will be stunned up, brought down. RR will bring down Velo in return. Raging Potato coming in from the side to try and snack up another target here. Setting up for the DK, but a couple more right clicks will have to do it here. And he turns this around, but not enough. The nuke is the thing. Void from Raging Potato. Shot that kill. X-Nova still playing together with Aframouche, but don't quite have the power to continue here. But Jabami does. There it is.
Oh man.
What are these
Potato
fights?
still wants to go in. Fly
he's-
over the trees.
Does have Necrophos coming back, so sure. They also have a side to work with, so Aftermoon is very target that Reed wants to bring down. Getting close to him though, it might just be the
Yeah,
urn
he's
taking
got,
away at him. Jabami with another blink, couple right clicks on Raging Potato. He's actually tanking the scythe, not enough damage. Velo also rejoined the fight. Raging Potato should die to the Wookiee
Never
Smash. Maybe
ends.
not, never mind. Velo's just gonna have to do it himself, but he's lost his Brewmaster support. Now he has to jump away. X-Nova turning around with another disruption, but it should be the full-on retreat, especially with James coming through, and yeah, extra slows coming out, but Raging Potato, he's not slow at all. It is nighttime due to his ultimate. It's at the tier 2 is where they draw the line.
Okay, so
Where did this fight even start?
right, so this fight started like by the bounty rune where Nightstalker is right,
Yeah.
the kind of southeastern Dire bounty rune, and
was like-
because the Dire team had all their ultimates, you know, Dragon Force, Primal Split, they jump in, they kill the Necro, get the X on him, they chase him down, and it took a little bit too long, or a little bit longer than they expected, and then in comes Gabby, but James and Gabby both die. The Necro and Arc Warden died within the first, 15 seconds, like kicking off, and I was thinking to myself, oh god, this is a big feed by Execration. They're just like throwing away the lead that they've just managed to gain themselves from that mid lane team fight, or over the past, 6-7 minutes or so. But it turned out to be a WGU feed, because after their ultis were Dragonite got picked off and chased by Nightstalker. Pugna, honestly, right, RR's Pugna in that fight. I'm just trying to recollect, chronologically things that happened in the battle, because it lasted for a good 2 minutes. RR got like a triple kill, or he got like 3 or 4 kills in the fight. He didn't get an ultra, but he was destroying people. The Netherwar did a little bit of work, but the amount of blasts, decreps, and life drains he got to keep himself alive, but also take down, the Kunkka, the Shadow Demon, these disruptive heroes in the team fights who have all of the control that WG need, and then they were left with basically only damage. They were left with a DK who had to turn tail and run. He couldn't stand around, and then you start seeing, the respawns come in. Arc Warden arrives again. Necro arrives to the team fight. The chase continues. And with Raging Potato's Nightstalker just, absolutely fearless during that nighttime, they were able to capitalize on a number of other kills after the team fight had kinda ended. But WG, to recap, WG very strong with ultimates up, very strong if they're the ones able to jump on a target and blow them up and get the numbers advantage. Execration, much better at these long drawn out fights where they're able to go in one by one, find a pick off here, save someone there, and if WG aren't getting objectives, aren't getting tier 1s, and they're not taking down Roshan with their ultimate, these team fight wins, then it's always a win for Execration, because they're the ones delaying the game for the Arc Warden to become an absolute...
Look at this. Look what Gabby's doing. He's already bringing down Brewmaster very, very low just with the Tempest double, and this is gonna get even worse. He only has that Maelstrom really to work with after the Boots of Travel. So, yeah, that's a really good point to lead into, because the longer the game goes, the bigger that guy is going to get. And the easier it gets for him to just not just push out lanes, but push out lanes uncontested, because WG need to commit very heavily to bring down the Tempest double safely.
Like, look at this trade they're making. They're barely scraping away with a tier 1 top, while tier 3 is taking inordinate amounts of damage here.
Another ward also zapping away, so it gets very, very hard to defend against this. RR just keeps walking up, blasting away at the tower. Yeah, that's another thing also that's kind of changed with the patch. Didn't do the math with the way armor works now on towers, whether it's actually making too big of a difference, but Nether Blast pretty much unaffected, so you can still do that safe and easy tower damage.
Do we have any cool talents coming up, or any big changes to talents? I don't see any that are like amazing across the Radiant heroes. I know the Brewmaster got a bunch of his changed. Winter Wyvern, level 10, 50 damage or 90 GPM. 600 night vision at level 15 is pretty nifty as well. Oh, at level 25 you have a stun on your Splinter Blast. Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay. Cool.
Didn't even see that one.
That's just
Okay.
Winter Wyvern.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if this game's gonna get there here. Disruption to just keep them safe, but now Promise Split, both, everything committed, but the Winter's Curse here onto the Kunkka. Not too much damage being done, but it will keep WG back. Okay, Lumix still sticking around there. Velo commits the ultimate forward with Cold Embrace. Will delay this a little bit further. Gabby sends in his Tempest double, but the Nightstalker gets stunned up by a Boundless Strike in the back. Finally, though, Vela will fall as James comes through. I don't know, it's 2 for 2 trade at this point.
Yeah, but you gotta think about the ultis as well, right? The Brewmaster used ulti and they got kills on 2 supports. The Necro scythed down on the Monkey King, I believe, so they get that kill, extended duration on his respawn timer. DK, when he respawns, he will have Dragonfall. They no longer have abilities of the Brew on the front lines to allow him to use it to its full extent. So this is going to be a tier 3 and potentially a lane of racks as James is up on the front lines. He's very maybe a little bit too far forward here with X's and Torrents. We'll see what he's up to though.
As long as he can get the ghost shot off, he'll be absolutely... Where'd he go?
He just blinks away, dude. He's that skilled.
What?
He's that skilled. He just blinks away. Now you've got Aghanims on the partner. Okay, here we go. See ya, Cooker.
Yeah, this game's not gonna get any easy for WG. Oh, lost. The bottom racks now. Middle. Bit of chip damage here with the catapult, courtesy of the catapult.
And now your Arc Warden has a full Orchid.
Don't even want to think about what Gabby can do in this fight and in these fights going forward.
So, Execration definitely advantaged here. 14k net worth lead, 1 lane of racks ahead, and they're the one with the Arc Warden kind of controlling the lane equilibrium on every single lane. WG, they're gonna need to smoke. They need to make a smoke play. They've got their ultimates back up and ready now with, Wukong's and Primal Split literally coming off cooldown at that moment. Honestly, like, the onus is on them to get out of their base and make a play. Try and find a pick on someone. I don't know if it's necessary to go and find the Arc Warden. Like, I think any kill will do as long as they find someone. But this Roshan attempt here by Execration, it shouldn't be so free. They shouldn't be able to get away with this.
Oh, but they are, Gareth. They are getting away with it. WG is, guess they're just happy to have a bit of space to push out the lanes at this point. Oh god. Well, X-Nova. That'll be the icing on the cake right now.
I'm not even sure that's worth it, you know? Wasting Reaper Scythe to get a kill on an SD alive in 30 seconds? Because he's so far away from base as well. Like, the kill happens so far away from base. I'm like 100% sure using Reapers there is not worth it.
I just wanted to cancel the TP.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what he wants to do, but it's just... The kill on the SD doesn't net them anything, whereas they've lost Scythe for like another minute and a half.
Oh yeah. I see what you mean. Then again, you have to understand the mind of a Necro player. Like, every single Scythe feels so good, regardless of the hero.
See kill, get kill. Yeah, but he didn't get the Scythe kill, right? It was just the cancel the TP. They didn't.
Oh, okay.
No, they didn't have the damage to kill him during Scythe.
Never mind then.
Yeah, he'll be fine. What's Raging Potato doing? He's hunting the monkey who hunted the courier.
He got her too. And now he's just popping the ultimate to try and deal with the Night Stalkers walking away from it. But now it's not available for the high ground defense.
Yeah, this is super questionable.
Courier, though, so I guess worked on the courier kill anyway. But now, little Gabby up front. Okay, coming in for the Primal Split. It is the real Arc Warden, I believe. So both coming through, follow control despite the full embrace. They might be able to burst him down, and they do. But that is the Aegis. Can they get him a second time is the big question. Primal Split's gonna time out soon. That is the Winter's Curse on a Dragon Knight. Bring down Pharaoh very, very low indeed, but still fighting. Gabby will fall together with his Tempest double friend.
What?
And now look for more. Lumic, next one on the list. Hagner also died in the backlines doing all that somehow. How do they make this defense? How's it
They have their ultis. They're defending high ground with their ultis, and Execration don't have their 5 heroes. Like, honestly, it's... Oh, dear. Is James just dead as well?
He should be dying. He has no support. Might take them a while, but not too long.
Okay, do you remember in the last game how we saw really messy fights and WG nearly threw their game away? That feels like Execration are doing a very similar thing here. It's like, they've got Aegis on the Arc Warden, he goes up high ground. 3, Cold Embrace saved him once, Aegis obviously gives him a second life. But the fact that he doesn't have, a Hurricane Pike or staff trying to buy Blink Dagger now, but he doesn't have that mobility item himself, he just gets blown up. WG with their ultis are still very, very strong. They have Brew with Radiance. They have a DK with Dragon Form that's up to level 2. They do a lot of damage when their ultimates are available. And Execration just did not respect that at all. They had Night Stalker, who's a million miles away, who is, you know, one of their biggest teamfight heroes, honestly, with his crippling fear and his void to try and disrupt any kind of initiation that WG try and throw at them. But walking high ground there, feeling that, oh, we've got enough damage to take tier 3 without really considering the fact that Night Stalker's battling the Monkey King back towards your secret shop, seems like a big mistake. And now you've got WG who they've reset. They have full reset now. They've got all their abilities back up again. They've got their lanes pushed out. They can go and make a smoke play and try and find a fight on their turn point. And Execration have to be maybe not scared, but definitely very tentative and aware of what this dire team brings to the table when they meet head-on-head 5.
Look at our here though.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
Here's an Arcane Rune. He just spams Nether Blast every 3 seconds. Bring down the shrine.
Has fallen.
There's nothing else that got that going for them. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is a big
0.8 seconds, not 3 seconds. Thank you very much.
Okay, sure. Whatever, man. Whatever.
I spent a lot of time with Knoxville. He's ripped off on.
Okay. That makes sense, actually. But yeah, big tournament also monetarily here. It was about like 15, 16k gold advantage. It's still up at 12k, so it's still a sizable lead to rely on. But if you look at experience, it tells the story a little bit better. WG almost evening that one out, and now smoke up.
I would, but I can't. I mean, there aren't any buttons. There used to be buttons for the golden XP graphs.
Alright, click on the scoreboard.
Oh, wait. It's not there. I looked also.
I thought it was there.
No, same.
Oh, sad. That's... Okay, there's Gabby. Shenanigans. Jabami, down to half health. Do a Tempest double.
Scanning.
Just Aqua and things.
Bounty.
Counter smoke here.
Execration smoke themselves, yeah. And it's natural nighttime. 4 minutes where Execration have the upper hand.
Nova. And a lot of trouble here. It's gonna get sucked down and zapped down even. Games with that Dagon showing it off now. They're looking for more here. They need a conquer, but the TV's out on the Glimmer Cape, no protection at the ready. They only lose that Shadow Demon support. And immediately with the gem purchase on the Winter Wyvern. Don't want to deal with that again.
Well, 2 minutes until Roshan can be up. WG have mid and top lane to defend. They've managed to shove out a wave decently far on the bot lane, but that's naturally going to reset itself back up towards the base.
Going ham in the back here, pops the BKB. Pharaoh trying to help out, but then Winter Scourge will delay him. They're trying to burst down RR immediately, and now the fight actually still being taken here with the boat coming after Moonsh, getting rid of this Nether Ward, and RR is actually dead, down for the count, straight off the bat, and now Raging Potato having to try and run away with Pharaoh with the Blink Stun, follow up here with the Brewmaster using his own ultimate. They really want to secure this kill, and perhaps another one on top. They see
found the
James
Necro
here. Oh, they see him now again. They do track him down. He's all alone as well. We'll get the kill eventually. At the same time up top, Gabby is sending his illusions here to do the split pushing thing. What the hell was that? A scythe to being dodged as well.
Yeah.
By disruption here.
It was unlikely to kill. They do get the tier 3 top, but man oh man. We were talking about how WG are strong with their ultimates. They're even stronger with their ultis and BKBs. That DK just jumping straight in with the help of the Monkey King. He used a 10-second BKB to initiate into that fight. The Brewmaster just used his 10-second BKB as well. You know, jumps in, pops it, runs at people, hits and crits a couple of times. He's got Radiance burning. Held the ultimate for as long as he could, but when they realized that they had a Night Stalker and a Necro, both next to each other, ready to be picked off one by one, he was like, screw it, I'm going to use my ulti now then, get these kills. They got the Urn over onto James to cancel Blink as he was trying to retreat to the southeast of the Night Stalker, and they swung this so nicely from a high ground into a team fight that they could win. Still a few steps away from having the game in their control. They're still 9k, but winning a team fight like this at this period of the game, as Monkey escapes top lane, you have so much time to reset your BKBs and reset your, Dragon Primal Split, they're up in like 10 seconds, Wukong's command is ready, and they're going to have their BKBs. Literally, all they have to do at this moment in time is push lanes. Make sure that you have no lanes near your base, make sure that Execration comes through these soft pushes, the proxy pushes with Tempest doubles and Pugna blasts and just keeping themselves safe. If you can put the pressure onto Execration and make sure that they have to hard commit to take down Rax, or if they have to hard commit for a team fight around Roshan, which is going to be the next big thing here for both teams, WG, you have to contest this one, it feels like. You've got your ultis, you've got your BKBs. The one issue is you don't have a shrine to TP to. Entering this pit is very, very difficult, and I don't think they're going to be able to get out of their base to contest. Top lane's pushing in, and they have to. This is going to be another Roshan and Aegis and the cheese. This creation.
Well, it's level 2. Next time around, we even have the treasure shard to work with. But for now, Aegis and cheese. We also have a lot of towers to work with still, which is the other problem. I mean, WG, you can try and keep the lanes pushed out as much as you can, but you're always gonna have that counter pressure from the Tempest double. So they haven't really been able to turn this into any more objectives, even though they've been winning these fights. So they still a long way that they have to go. I'm looking at Kunka now though, and I see the new item, the Spirit Vessel. Have you put any thoughts into that item at this point already? I mean, basically an upgraded urn, which does percentage damage.
I feel like the percentage-based increase on a hero like a DK or a Brew, my first thoughts were tanky hero that pushes high ground. You put this on them and they become infinitely. But we'll come back in a sec.
Yeah. Running in here, Pharaoh does get disrupted now. Meanwhile in the back, they're looking for try and bring down Raging Potato. Pharaoh blinks straight in here once again. They're bursting down RR, trying to at the very least. He eats the cheese, but it's still not enough for the Trapify. He'll burn down eventually. Due to the Radiance, Gabby, he came back for the Aegis, but now has to pop the BKB just to try and run away. James in the front line, same for Raging Potato. They're just taking so much damage in return here. 2 heroes down. They only lost the Shadow Demon so far. Jabami blinking in, finds James right in the middle of that. Middle of these trees. Pharaoh though looking for the bigger target. Monkey King falls to Gabby though, by the looks of it. Now the boat coming back. They refocus on James. Lumik's still there though, helping him out with the Cold Embrace. Aframush will be right click down here, and Gabby even gets a kill with the Lightning proc, and all of a sudden Pharaoh without the BKBs. They're not quite as strong, but strong enough with Jabami once again coming through with the burst. James surviving that whole ordeal as they constantly refocus, but overall WG still come out ahead.
These fights are like nothing I've seen. What? So throughout the okay, so WG, they jump in, BKB ulti, we've seen that before. But throughout the entirety of the fight, after the Winter's Curse, after the disruption of the target to try and keep them alive, Lumix spent about 80% of that fight in the air. The Storm Panda was just cycloning and making braces. There were no Splinter Blasts, no Glimmer Capes, more importantly, but also no gem to give them any kind of vision over these other Glimmer Capes WG hold onto with their Shadow Demon. So they removed this hard 5 support from the fight completely so they could focus the Arc Warden, chased him to the ends of the earth. He got 2 kills while he was dying, I believe on the Kunkka and then on the Monkey King, as he was being chased all the way west along that top lane. But it's still another decent enough fight for WG, you know, that they're balancing things out. The status quo has now kind of gone 50-50. Sure, they're a lane of Rax behind. Okay, they've lost tier 3. But what was that? That was Aegis and Cheese, right? Both got used. That was an Aegis and Cheese fight by Execration that fails utterly to get an objective.
Yeah, they'll be using it to try and stay alive and run away. I mean, even the BKB on Gabby, I mean... And they couldn't really survive the Maelstrom until all these BKBs started timeout, until the Primal Split started timeout. Then they could start to try and trade, but at that point, WG already won the fight to a point where they really shouldn't have been able to, considering that they were up against this Roshan advantage. Well, as it stands, they're chipping away this net worth lead, and it's also worth remembering that a lot of that lead is still concentrated on the Arc Warden. So if you make sure that Gabby is controlled up, or if he is forced to run away, or not in a fight for whatever reason, then all of a sudden, WG, you feel much stronger than the numbers themselves just might indicate.
Maybe if they can find a pick
Halo
here.
though. Ooh, that is having a burst. Alright, that's the Monkey King down for 100 seconds.
No buyback. This could be the moment they needed. That single pick could have just won Execration the game here.
Oh,
Dire's bottom
we'll have the
shrine
boats and
has fallen.
stuff like that to try and defend the high ground. But yeah, Monkey King at this point is a big deal because he's the one just initiating these fights, just jumping into the backlines. Just running down the partner time and time again.
Only
because-
Brewmaster has buyback.
Yeah, I mean, it's just his Tempest double. Already creating some chaos. He has to shift the focus back from away from the middle lane. The ward comes through it, catches the Night Stalker. Cold Embrace, the Grub Fire, everything that they can try and do. You know, Jabami trying to run him down, blink forward, promise split used. Trying to find somebody. And they did finish off the Ring Potato in the meantime. Now James focus forward, but just zaps down the DK. No problems whatsoever, so now it's gonna be down to the rest of WG to try and find the damage to bring it down, but now Winter's Curse coming through from Lumic, standing up for Aframush as well as Exnova. Both of them should end up falling here. Brewmaster, Prime Split, and it's time for RR. He survived this time. He's able to do so much burst damage together with James. And that is, the GG is called, and yeah, it turns out you were right, that one kill and a Monkey King. Not being a part of this fight hurt WG way too much.
I think Vela was pinging there, saying that they should have been a lot behind them. You could see the grouping of WG. 4 heroes were like ready to defend mid a good 10-15 seconds before they really needed to be, and then Vela was pushing that one extra wave bottom lane all on his own, and really could have done with, you know, just a Shadow Demon behind him. That one disruption there would have saved the Monkey King, kept them in the game, and that fight was still difficult for Execration. They were fighting 5v4, and they still didn't convincingly just sweep through and destroy WG. There was still moments of panic where Force Staffs and Cold Embraces, and they needed a big Winter's Curse just to be able to steady the ship. But 1-1, we're going to game 3. Both of these games have been scrappy, interesting, full of action, but I think one of these teams has kind of been a little bit above the other. WG have shown that they're a little bit crisper with their execution. They're a little bit better at taking objectives after, you know, winning team fights, or understanding where they need to move within the game to gain foothold, to gain advantages in the match. Execration have been a little bit sloppier, but I think the next game, it's going to come down to draft again. Who can get that upper hand and get the, you know, stronger synergy between their heroes?
We'll find out exactly how that works.